On Dre here. You are now watching the Sony APS-C slash Super 35 shooter or user, whatever one you want to use. What's going on? I should be live right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those who are watching the replay, I greatly appreciate it. Now, this channel is dedicated to showing you guys tech, camera reviews, camera tips and tricks and things like that. And as a Sony APS-C user, I'm really targeting and really speaking to those who are in the Sony ecosystem, the Sony APS-C ecosystem, or even the EF mount system. I'm just here to be of service to you guys, all right? And yeah, as you see by the thumbnail and the title, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my live streaming setup here. Now, little secret. I picked up the M1 Mac Mini. Now, if you know me, I am not a Mac guy. In fact, I try to avoid Mac as often as I can. But I had to watch. I had to after watching all the reviews, I had to get one because my PC, not a shabby machine, HP laptop, i7 gigabyte, a terabyte SSD inside, 24 gigs of RAM. It's a good machine, but it's skipping my graphics card is missing. What's going on? Tia Lynn, thank you so much for being here in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, Reed. What's going on? That vegan, we know that vegan is that green vegan is a Canon user. I was teasing her today in the chat saying that she can't even spell it right. She spells it with two N's, but it's one N. But what's going on, sis? So yeah, man, I just really want to talk about my live stream setup using Sony cameras. I'm a Sony user, and my transition to Sony sort of went full circle because my very first camera was a film Minolta camera. Okay, and then Konica Minolta merged, and they came out with digital SLR, like digital SLR cameras. And my first DSLR camera was a Konica Minolta 5D. I think it was a Konica Minolta 5D. That's when I got into digital photography. And then from there, I went Nikon. I got me a Nikon D5500 and then it went to D7000 and I stayed with Nikon for a little bit. And then I got rid of my Nikons, went to Panasonic Lumix because they had unlimited recording and I was really getting into recording. So I did that. What's going on, CP? Thank you so much for being. so, listen, you're ruining, put some respect on Sony's name. What's going on, CP, the artist? Hey, and I'm with you, that green figure. Yeah, now those are good cameras, right? Nikon and Canon are amazing cameras, but I prefer Sony. And so I was Panasonic for a little bit. I had the Panasonic G85 and the Panasonic G7. I was doing predominantly live streaming then, and I still had my Nikon cameras for photography. But the autofocus on the Lumix brand cameras was really bad, and I was doing live streaming, so I could not avoid or get around the lack of stable autofocus. The image stabilization on the camera was top tier on the Lumix brand cameras. And whenever I wouldn't shoot video with my Nikon because you can hear the motors on the lens very loud. So I didn't want to use that for video. But then Sony came out with the A6400 and I said, you know what, let me trade in my cameras to get this camera. And I did that. And I fell in love with the Sony ecosystem at that point. And from there, I got the Sony A6400, A6600, two of them, the Sony ZV-E10, then sold my Sony A6600, one of them, sold my Sony A6400 for Sony FX30, and now I have one Sony ZV-E10, one Sony A6600, one Sony FX30, and here is my wife's Sony ZV-E10. So I'm using her camera today to help me with this live stream, okay? Now, I want to show you guys my live stream setup. This is not something that I bought at one time. I built this over time. So this is not something that I just splurged on. After a while, over time, I built what I have today. Some may say this is overkill. For me, it's perfect because I like to have the multicam setup, all right? You know, I like to have multi cameras when I live stream, and that's just me. But you don't have to. You can just have one camera. And if you pick one camera for live streaming, I would, and like you're a beginner or like, you don't, you're new to YouTube and live streaming, I would really recommend the Sony ZV-E10 because you are able to plug and play. Like you plug it into your computer and it'll operate as a webcam through the USB. I think this is the only camera that does that without needing a third-party software. So you can plug in the ZV-E10, click the menu option, and plug it in as a webcam, and you can use the Sony ZV-E10 as a webcam. You can also use this camera right here, the Sony FX30, as a webcam, and this one would do 1080p streaming, while this one will do 720p streaming. Now, if you're using StreamYard like most people are using, and you don't want to pay for the extra per month for the 1080p streaming, you don't need that. The Sony ZV-E10 is perfect, especially if you're using StreamYard, Melon, and any other web-based streaming platforms that stream at 720p. That's all you really need. Right? So I would recommend the Sony ZV-E10. Now, let me show you guys my setup for a long time. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch cameras here. And I'm gonna use this camera here. Why? Because let me switch microphones. All right, here's my, let me know how the microphone sounds. To me, it doesn't sound that great, but let me know how the microphone sounds in the chat. If it sounds good, let me know it sounds good. All right, so this is here. Let me show you what I'm using. Okay, real quick. All right, this is my Sony ZV-E10. How's it sound? Understand? It sounds good. All right. This is my Sony ZV-E10. I have on this the Hollyland Mars 300 Pro so that I can move this around without any wires because there are no strings on me. All right. Little Pinocchio pun right there. So, yeah. How's it sound? A little muffled a little? All right. So let me just switch it. I'm going to just use this microphone and try to just talk into it. I won't use this. All right. So maybe it's because I have the equalization. Now I'm using this the Zoom PodTrack P8. So what if I add a little bit more? How's this? Is this a little better? Is it less muffled? Let me know if it's less. It sounds still a little muffled. I hope this is better. If this is better, let me know. So here I have the Sony FX30. This is the cinema camera that I just bought. And you can use this as a vlogging camera as well. I wouldn't recommend using this as a vlogging camera. If you're going to use a vlogging camera, I would really suggest using the Sony ZV-E10. That's a much better option for vlogging than this one because the Sony ZV-E10 is only like $800 without the kit lens. I think it's $800 with the kit lens, and it does almost everything that this camera does. This is the cinema grade camera. You shoot movies with this camera, okay? But for the sake of this review and the live stream setup, I need to use this as my roaming camera. So it's still a little better. All right, good. All right, because right now I'm recording or talking into my Comica Boom XU. All right, so I'm hoping that it sounds better. Now, let me show you guys my setup, okay? So here I have what I was using before. This was my computer that I was using before. That's the portable, like a wireless Bluetooth keyboard for this computer that I used to have in front of me. But this was messing with the graphics card was going. I was skipping frames. And if you look at my live streams from my other YouTube channel, you'll see that it's really, really, really wonky, right? So I wind up buying this. Yep, I bit the bullet and bought this. What I love about this is that I didn't break the bank to get this M1 Mac Mini. I bought the base model. I did get the 16 gigabyte RAM, but I got a 256 SSD drive in there. It's not a big hard drive. And then I got this QuizLab dock for it. So it allows me to put an extra hard drive in it and additional space. All right, that's my hand. Okay. This is my teleprompter. You can't see what I see because of the reflection. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it. Well, it's up there, right? But I have this connected to my old computer, right? And I have still my monitors here. These are my monitors. Okay, monitors are still, wow, what's crazy is that you guys can't see that monitor. The monitor is on. Wait, what's going on here? The monitor is on, but you guys can't see what I see on the screen. That's crazy, all right? I still have my Atem Mini. This is the Atem Mini Pro, okay? This allows me to switch camera angles. All right. All right. You don't really need that. But I will say, if you're looking for a capture card, I will never go again, ever use a regular capture card. I will only, let me switch this up. I will only use this because only for like $50 more for a quality capture card, you can get this. And this would be a capture card for 4 inputs, for 4 camera inputs. So that's my recommendation. If you're going to go and get, like, if you want to stream at HD and you want to get a capture card so that you can stream at HD, please get this instead. Or even get the Atem Mini. That's at $195. Most capture cards are like $125 for a good one. Spend the extra $75. You'll be able to use 4 cameras. All right. And this is a good question. Why do I need a teleprompter? All right. I'm going to show you why I need a teleprompter. Okay. So this is why I need a teleprompter. So I can see the screen here. One of the most annoying things to me is when I'm watching a live streamer and they're looking down here, talking to the people here. See, if you're talking to people here, you feel disconnected. Like, does it feel like I'm talking to you if I'm looking down at the screen here? It looks like I'm more engaged in my audience if I'm looking directly at the camera. So the camera is right behind the teleprompter, and it allows me to stay focused on you guys, or make it feel like I'm staying focused on you. So when I'm looking down here, it's very unnatural. But when I'm talking to you guys here, I'm able to see the screen and talk to the screen. Now, I will say this. I see myself in the screen. So it's a little vain, but when I'm having guests on, I'm able to look at them as they're talking, right? And as I'm talking to them, they see me looking at them, and it makes them a little bit more comfortable when we're having conversations, because it makes them feel like I'm making eye contact with them. Even though I am making eye contact and I'm looking at their eyes, it's a screen I'm looking at. So it gives them that kind of a feeling. So that's why I need a teleprompter, especially because I want to be an official streamer. You know what I'm saying? I want to make a living off of this. I want to be able to live off of this and feed my children and pay for my kids' colleges doing this. All right. So back to this here. And now for my mixer. This is the Zoom PodTrack P8. The Zoom PodTrack P8. This here is my mixer that I use for my sound effects. You have a few sound effects. Now, as you know, like I end usually every stream on my other channel playing this music right here. So I can play music. I have, yeah, so this is, I just added that one. Amen. Yeah, so this is my PodTrack P8. All my sound goes through that, and I use the Rode Pod mic. This here is the Rode Pod mic. So that's my live stream setup. For some, it's going to be overkill. For me, it's actually perfect for what I want to do with my live streaming setup. And additionally, I can take this and live stream other people's events, which I've done in the past. That's a good source of income that I have on the side, where people will hire me to do live streams of their event or record their events. And I don't have a huge footprint. I just bring my laptop, a couple of cameras, my Atem Mini, a couple of microphones, and this mixer, and I have a full virtual travel remote mobile studio, recording studio, video recording studio at the palm of my hand. Like, I just go anywhere with it. So this is easy to set up for my live stream, easy to break down and take with me everywhere I go. If I'm hired to do an event, video event, do a live stream service. So this is my live stream setup. I have the Atem Mini. I have the M1 Mac Mini, all these minis. I have the Zoom PodTrack P8. A good alternative to the Zoom PodTrack P8 is the Rodecaster and the Rodecaster Pro and the Rodecaster Pro 2. Both of those are great options, and their frequency is a little bit more in tune to video. So so you can use that, but this is less expensive and it does the same thing and has some great features on it as well. I have my extra computer. I have usually a 3-camera setup. My Sony FX30 right here, my Sony A6600 right here, and my Sony ZV-E10 right there. And I have usually a 3-camera setup when I'm live streaming. Okay, this allows me to take different angles. And if somebody says something funny, I'll go like real quick just to add to the live streaming, right? Trying to keep everybody engaged. So this is my live streaming setup. So I'm going to go to the chat real quick to see what everybody is talking about. All right. All right, here we have let me hold that M1. I'm with you, that green vegan. Yep. Let me hold that M1. I got you, bro. I'll bring it down to ATL for you. And again, what I like about the M1 Mac is that it wasn't expensive. And let me know what you guys think of the quality. So I'm looking at if I maybe I should show you my screen. I don't know if I can show you my screen, but Melon, I use Melon app to go live stream, right? And Melon app has an indicator on their screen to let you know how much CPU you're using. And every time I use my old computer, that indicator saying that I'm using a lot of CPU is always up, always up. But with this, it hasn't gone up yet. Has not gone up yet. Let me try something. Let me see if I was to share my screen real quick and see how that would look. All right. I need to get a new mouse. All right. So hold on. I'm going to see if I could share my screen real quick with a video from my channel. So hopefully I won't get copywritten by myself. All right. And I want to see how it varies when I share my screen. So let's go here. Let's go full screen. Let's show it. Okay, and let's situate this right here. If it'll focus. And I want to see if it's going to blink. If that indicator will come. This is my passport, people. All right, this is my other channel. This is my passport. Harrison Family Values. Well, passport holder. Inside, I got my sound. I'm trying to see if passport. It's going smooth. I won't let you guys see it. I also have the same. I had a different issue with my other computer. Let you guys see it because you guys ain't gonna get my stuttering. It was doing all that. All right, this one seems to be flowing pretty well. Got the passport. When I go on flights, I got the passport. All right, so it looks like it's working pretty well. So, that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to live stream smoothly without hindrances, and that's why I got the M1 Mac Mini. And again, $600 you get the base, 8 gig, $700, $699. Get the base. 8 gigabyte with 256 gigabyte hard drive, and you're on the way to go. You're on your way. And I'm not a Mac guy. I'm not. But for some reason, PC for that money, it's not going to come close to what I got with this Mac Mini. And I saw a lot of reviews about it. There's multiple people not just live streaming with this M1 Mac Mini, but they're also editing videos. So that's what sold me. The fact that they were editing videos and live streaming, that's what got me. Re-reviews, sweet. Re-reviews, yeah, I'm old school. LOL, understand that. Muffled a little, yeah. So, yeah, I gotta fix that up. What's going on? What's going on, bro? Let's make it. We just connected. We're gonna do some more together on my other channel, though. Yes, better. Good. All right. Doing great. How about you, bro? I like it that you guys are engaging with each other in the chat. Team Apple. Yeah, see, and I'm not Team Apple. I'm gonna stay with my Android phone. I'm sticking with that. But I have an iPad. I have now a M1 Mac Mini. Just saying it rolls off the M1 Mac. I can't even say it because it makes me want to upchuck my dinner. But I got to use a Mac. This sad. You know who's gonna get on me? Frank, my boy Khalif, he's going to get on me because we've always argued about PC and Mac, and he's a Mac guy through and through. I may have to upgrade to one of them. Yeah, and again, if you're going to upgrade, I was looking into upgrading, and I usually have a 3-monitor setup. The M1 Mac Mini only supports 2 displays at max. And today, I tried to connect my teleprompter and mirror the main screen to the teleprompter, and it wouldn't work. So you can't even add on to this to even mirror one. So that's why I'm using my other computer to do the teleprompter. But I was looking into this M1 Mac Studio because that supports 3 screens, but that it starts at like $2,000. Your boy don't got $2,000 to be spending right now. Not that some people may consider me broke, but try to be smart with my spending. I spend what I need and nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, so I would recommend the M1 Mac Mini. Time will tell because this is day one. Like I literally got this today and I'm using it right now. I can't believe you actually purchased an Apple product. I know. I'm so shocked you purchased Apple items for Nathaniel. Yeah, Nathaniel wanted a iPhone, so I got him an iPhone way back when he graduated high school. Yeah, that was hard for me to do. Just thinking about it. Oh, sorry. Why do you need to? I'd answer that for you. Yeah. All right. I own both an iPhone and Android, but I'm Droid. I'm a Droid girl. Yeah, Droid all the way. I'm looking at the Atem Mini. The Atem Mini is a great machine, and it's not expensive. With the Atem Mini, you have a full TV studio, 4-camera studio setup in your house. I would recommend getting it. I would tell everybody, don't go spend unless you need 4K, because the Atem Mini doesn't support 4K yet. When they do, it's going to be expensive. But if you're only streaming at 1080p like I do, I only stream at 1080p right now, I would definitely recommend the Atem Mini and not go for like some regular capture card, because for a good capture card, you're spending about $125. For an additional $75, you can have a capture card for four cameras. All right, that streams at 1080p, and it has options to stream at 1080p at 60 frames per second. You can't beat the Atem Mini. I would definitely recommend the Atem Mini. Definitely. Nice reviews. Thank you. Yeah. Right. That's a smart idea with the teleprompter. Yeah, because imagine, like, again, as I'm talking to you guys, I can see the screen. The only challenge I have here is that it's not mirrored. So everything on my teleprompter is reversed. So for me to read the comments, I have to look down real quick to read the comments, and then I go back up. I need to find a way for me to make this monitor, and I bought like a $50 monitor to use to go to mirror, and I don't know if it'll do that. So, but I mean, because he's bougie. Y'all getting on me in the chat. Wow. Y'all laughing about it too? Can't wait to get yours. Yeah, definitely get it. I would definitely recommend getting it. Without a doubt. If you guys can afford a Atem Mini, go for it. The Atem Mini is right now, I think, $195. When I bought the Atem Mini, it was $295. It went down $100, and the Atem Mini Pro is now the price of the original Atem Mini at $295. So yeah, definitely go get it. How do you know what sounds on each square? I program it. So I program the sounds on each square, and I memorize where they are. If I want to, I can press. Let me show you. Let me get out of this first. So that's a good question. And here's one of the benefits of having this camera here like this, okay? So here I have the screen here, right? Now this is the bank, this is the part for the bank, right? The sound banks. Let me go back because I pressed the wrong one. I click there and I program it. So here I have, that's loud. So there I have the air horn, the sad trombone. Let me go back. The sad trombone, cash register, rim shot, laughter, applause, the amen sound, law and order, semantics. If I want to add more, I can add different banks, add extra, okay? But I don't need that many right now, so I just stay with bank A, okay? That's it. So that's why that's how I know what the sounds are, because I actually program the sounds myself. It comes with sounds already built in, but I change it. It's customizable to my needs, and you can customize yours to your needs as well. So the Zoom PodTrack P8 is a great machine. And again, if you go with this or the Rodecaster Pro, the Rodecaster Pro 2, you're not going to go wrong. All three works just as fine, especially if you're live streaming. Canon is the truth. Listen, try it. Here's the thing about Canon, right? At the entry level, at the normal YouTuber level, they don't have a camera that matches up to the Sony ZV-E10. I'm not saying this to be biased. I'm saying this to be practical and objective. Honestly speaking, right? The Sony ZV-E10 at the price point cannot be matched by any other camera maker right now for what it offers. It has 4K, amazing quality, in-body image stabilization, electronic stabilization. No, not in-body image stabilization, just electronic stabilization. It has a plug-and-play webcam. It operates as a webcam without needing third-party software. This is the camera to get. And if you have pair it up with the right lens, you professional, beyond professional. So you will not go wrong by getting the Sony ZV-E10. And this is just not me being like a Canon hater. I love Canon cameras. I had a chance to use. I love Canon cameras. Sony just meets the casual and the non-casual content creators' needs most of the time. The quality is dope. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. I'm sure it is. That's I have an iPad, iPhone, and Mac, LOL, but my Droid is my baby. Same here. Oh, I don't have an iPad. I don't have an iPad. I have an iMac now. Oh, a Mac Mini. I have an iPad for school, but yeah, being frugal is key. Yep. I have 5 of them, and when I was in film school, yeah. Same here. My Apple purchases were due to me needing them in college. Yeah. Law and order. Yeah, that's my, somebody say something crazy, I go real quick. That's my thing. I've been using Canon for 39 years. Jeez, are you that young? 39 years? Wow, you've been using Canon for 39 years? That's crazy. Now, Canon are great cameras. I'm not saying that they're not good cameras. They're great cameras. I'm just saying Sony sort of changed the game when it came to mirrorless, photography and videography. Now everybody has gone mirrorless, and there was a time when Sony did it, and everybody was like, "Sony will never last. It doesn't have a mirror in the DSLR. They're never going to go anywhere with that camera." And they kept making crazy upgrades, and then everybody else was like, "Yo, they're taking all of our customers. Everybody's buying Sony cameras." And then now, Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, every single camera brand out there is making mirrorless cameras because Sony started it, and Sony set the bar so high. And what I like about Sony is that they never had to play catch up. Okay, they stayed ahead of the game. Okay, they stayed ahead of the game, and everybody else, including Canon, was playing catch up. I'm just saying. So, all right, that's why I'm a Sony user, specifically a Sony APS-C user. You're probably wondering why won't I go full frame? Because I shoot mostly video. All right, I don't need to go full frame. I really don't. A lot of Hollywood films, I shoot on the 35 millimeter format. This camera, and this camera are all 35 millimeter format. So I'm good. I'm saying I like it. I can honestly say I just like the mirrored cameras. So there are the my Canons in the garage. Oh, you have a lot of Canons collecting dust because I like the feel of a mirror camera, like a mirrored DSLR. What was always challenging for me is to make sure that I had the right composure, right? Because I would have to, take the picture, look at the image, make some adjustments, take a picture again. With a mirrorless camera, your viewfinder is electronic, so what you see is what you're shooting, right? So you can make the adjustments, and you can see the adjustments in real time, and you can shoot the image. So people say that that's cheating. It's just how technology works. It makes it easier. Like, technology is meant to make things easier, and it makes it easier for you to shoot. Yeah, and that green vegan, make sure that you spell it correctly. CANON. I'm just saying. I have a Sony vlogging camera. What? Yo, you wait. This is when I use a. So she's over here. What, did I do that wrong? Did I pick the wrong one? All right, she's over here clowning. Well, not really clowning, but claiming loyalty to Canon, and she's got a Sony camera. What? For vlogging? What? Listen, I'm just saying. There are two of my Canon cameras in the garage. Yeah, save those because it could be vintage. You could sell them for a lot of money in a couple of years. Need a viewfinder. I don't have one on my Sony. So that's the thing about the Sony FX30 and the Sony ZV-E10. There is no viewfinder. The Sony A6600 has a viewfinder, but it doesn't. But it does have a flippy screen. So it does have a flippy screen for you to see. LOL. I made the switch from Canon to Sony. And this is coming from somebody who was a career creative. CP the artist is a career creative. All right. He's an actual artist. And if he switched from Canon to Sony, there's something to this. I'm just saying. And he has a ZV-E10. All right. Which is it really is the content creator's dream. Okay. It really is. If you're doing YouTube, like you can't, like there's not many people who have the Sony ZV-E10 has anything negative to say outside of it doesn't have a viewfinder. But if you're taking photos, most people today, they take photos with their cell phones the same way as you would take a photo with the ZV-E10, except the photos with the ZV-E10 will come out with much better quality. I definitely will. Still in their original boxes, yes. It is a great camera. I 100% concur. I love, his work is amazing work. And my recommendation to you guys is if you are not connected to CP the artist, and just go on Instagram and search CP the artist, you'll see his work there. He also he sells art pieces. He creates custom art pieces. He made a custom art piece for me. Like, I'm not just saying this. He really did make a custom art piece for me, right? Paid the money and all. Had to sell a couple of children for it, but yeah, I got the, no, I'm kidding. He's not crazy expensive either. And I will say this, he definitely doesn't charge what he's worth. Like the brother is like, he is it, right? And I'll say this with this new AI technology coming out, when I saw that it was people were doing like all kinds of, artistic expressions with their photos, the first person I thought about was CP the artist. And I was like, this is not good for people who have worked their hardest to hone their craft just to have some AI, take their business. So my recommendation, and I'll say this like genuinely, before you, if you can afford it, before you go, right, asking some kind of artificial intelligence to do artwork for you, consider giving that money to somebody who's going to put in the work for you, whose heart is going to be in the art, not just some computer generated image. And that's just my thing. All right. Yeah. And he's in the A. All right. He does, for those of you guys in Atlanta, if you follow his page, he'll do like, art shows and stuff like that and display his artwork. If you guys are in the A and he's holding an event, please go to those events. I have a sale now, 47% off. Go on his page now. CP the artist. Go on his page now and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. I have the Sony ZV-E10. I have the Sony ZV-E10 with the Sigma Trio. Oh, wait, you have the Sigma 16mm, the 30mm, and the 30 and the 50. Is it 55mm? You have those. Do you think the FX30 for video is that much better of an upgrade? I use it just for family stuff. So if you're using it just for that, I would upgrade to the Sony FX30. The Sony ZV-E10 is an amazing camera. Don't upgrade if that's what you're using for. I upgraded, I'll be honest with you, because I am looking to film a documentary, and I needed a more cinematic, more professional camera. The Sony FX30 is more for professionals. People say it's not because it doesn't have a full frame sensor. That's hogwash. Okay. Just because a camera doesn't have a full frame sensor doesn't make it non-professional. Okay. It is a professional grade camera, a cinema grade camera. I got it because I'm looking to shoot a documentary. And I would love to put the documentary on Netflix. And the Sony FX3, which is the same camera as the FX30, except with a full frame lens, has been accepted by Netflix. So I'm hoping that Netflix will approve the Sony FX30. This way I can pitch my documentary when it's done to Netflix without any issues. So, but yeah, I would stay with the Sony ZV-E10 if you're just doing it for family, if you're vlogging, things like that. If I wasn't going to do the documentary, I would never upgrade. I would stay with the cameras that I have. Well, I knew for sure his work was at least $800,000. Yeah, yeah, no, it's even then, if he did charge that much, it's still worth way more than that for what he puts in. The real flex is the original art. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the 56 millimeter. Yeah, those. I wanted to get the trio, but so what I have is I have on this camera right here, I have the 60 millimeter 1.4. On this camera, I have the 30 Sigma 30 millimeter 1.4. On this camera, I have the Tamron 17 to 70 millimeter 2.8. And on this camera is my vlogging lens, and that's the oh, gonna focus on me. What's going on? Where's the focus at? Hey, you're making me look bad. The Tamron 11 to 20 millimeter 2.8. Yeah. So, yeah, I have those lenses. Yeah. So, but yeah, that trio is a beautiful, beautiful pairing for the Sony ZV-E10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, what's going on? Again, thank. Oh yeah, yeah. He just celebrated a birthday as well. Just celebrated a birthday. The brother turned 30. So let's give a happy birthday to brother CP, the artist. He is now 30. Well, he looks 30. He looks 30. I can't confirm if he's 30, but he looks like he's 30 years old, maybe 28, 29, 30. So brother out there killing the game, looking all young and stuff. All right, I got grandkids, I got gray hair, and CP the artist is out there looking like, GQ. Yeah, yeah. He all right, guys. So, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, again, let me show you guys the setup one more time before I head out. Okay. One more time before I head out. This is my Sony FX30 paired with the. Let me just do this real quick. Paired with the Tamron 17 is not the Tamron 11 to 17 2.8. Here I have my Atem Mini Pro, my additional computer that's connected to my teleprompter that you guys can't see. I can see it, but you guys can't see it. All right. I have these are my wireless keyboard and mouse for that computer. The M1 Mac Mini with the QuizLab hub with the hard drive in it. I have one screen right here, which you guys cannot see. You can see a little bit of the screen, but not the whole thing. I have another screen right here. I have a wireless keyboard for the M1 Mac Mini and the wireless mouse. I have a fan there, so when I get hot, I can put that on. And I have the Zoom PodTrack P8 with a whole bunch of mess next to mine. Yeah, the Zoom PodTrack P8 right here. All right, I'm proud of this. I love this. This makes live streaming fun. Okay. Oh, and this here is a Bluetooth receiver, so I can take phone calls with this thing. I can take phone calls with it by connecting my phone. I use a Google phone number, so that's not my personal phone number, and people can call into the show and things like that, and share their comments. And they can call into the show by clicking the link and camming up. So that's what I like about this setup. So when I live stream, this is what it looks like from behind the scenes. I gave you guys a behind the scene look at my live streaming setup. All right. It's not as extravagant as some people, but it may be too much for some people as well. You really don't need all this to live stream. I do this because it allows me to function a little bit easier. But if you just need a camera that could connect to your computer, a webcam, and if your content is right, if what you're saying is engaging, you'll get followers. You'll get followers. Okay. Like getting the Sony ZV-E10, plugging it into your computer anywhere you go. Boom, you got a setup right there. So, oh, I have lights too. I didn't show you guys my lights, but I have like a lighting setup too. Let me show you guys my lights. I neglected to do that. My apologies. So I have one light here. That's like a multicolor LED light. I have a ring light here, a light panel here, and another light there. Again, you don't need all that for live streaming. I use it not necessary. Helps me balance the light better. My boy Todd Bangs challenges me to play around with my lighting to get more of a dramatic feel. This way I can create the mood I want in my live stream. So I'm going to be doing that. He's been coaching me. So shout out to Todd if you're watching this. I greatly appreciate you, bro. All right. So where am I? Where am I in the chat? What I miss? What I miss? Oh, this one is easy. I'm a thank you, LOL. I'm a vamp. Oh, whoa. Thank you. Happy Earth Strong CP. Yeah. You guys are up all night, aren't you? Yeah, I'm not. I go to bed real early and I'm up really early too. Thank you. How it says you are a vegan. Yeah. Thank you. Super the artist. I got 10K. I got 10K and still so yeah, that's the whole point. Like if you got the easiest thing to use is what you have accessible right then and there, right? People got $10,000 in equipment and still use their phones. So yeah, so you don't need to have like a whole bunch of a huge setup. You really just need a nice camera, decent lighting, and something relevant to say, and you're good to go. Thanks for referring to age, Trey. Yeah, the power is in the beats. Beats. Okay, so you're telling me if I eat beets, I can reverse my age? All right, I'm gonna try it in beets. So you talk about like not like cranberry sauce, right? You're talking about like beets, because I always told myself that cranberry sauce is like beets, so I would just eat cranberry sauce, telling myself that it's like beets. So I would justify me saying, hey, it's the same color and stuff. It's a little less shiny and tastes better. So it's not the same. All right, you let me know. You let me know. All right, guys. So I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, live streaming is one of the best ways for you guys to grow on YouTube and build an audience and connect with your audience. I like live streaming because it allows me to connect with my audience. And I'm a Sony user, so I have all these Sony cameras, and I use them for live streaming. Okay, and if you are ever looking to get a nice camera for live streaming and you want to go beyond the regular Logitech webcams and stuff like that, a couple of good cameras to get. If not, I'll say this camera, the Sony ZV-E10 is a great camera to get. Also, even though I'm a Sony user, the Canon M50 Mark II is also a good camera to get also. You can live stream with that camera, but you're going to need a third party. I believe you're going to need a third party software to do so. But the Sony ZV-E10, you don't need a third party software. You plug it right into your computer, select the button in the back of the camera, and it operates as a webcam just like that. All right. So if you're in the market, and guys, if you made it this far and you haven't liked the video, please hit the like button right now. I'll greatly appreciate it. It'll let YouTube know that this is a video worth sharing. And here's my live stream setup. And if you guys have any questions about anything that I have, and if you're interested in getting it, please leave a comment down below. Share what you guys use for your live stream setup. I'm interested in hearing what you guys use for your live stream setup, because one, it can help me with some ideas, right? Two, it'll help other people with their ideas. And if you have any questions about live streaming and the best equipment to use, I'll whatever knowledge I do have, I'll gladly disseminate to you guys. All right. So with that being said, I'm about to end the live stream, and because this is not the Harrison Family Values channel, I'm not going to play the the outro. So I want you guys to click this video right here. Okay, click that video and yeah, watch it for me. Really appreciate it. All right. Until the next upload or live stream, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.